freshly broken pine branches on the ground underneath. Looks like someone came off about 15 to 20 feet up. Some small branches about an inch or less in diameter.
There was something in the forest. They chased lights. They saw a craft.
Before 148, we're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmers burning our animals. They're very, very active, making an awful lot of noise.
We've seen craft down here. We've seen ETs down here. So yes, they definitely did see something.
There wasn't a pigmentation. You saw a light where? Right at this position here, straight ahead, in between there it is again.
It's got a lot to do with the American stealth technology.
You know, they needed to cover it up very quickly.
Watch, straight ahead off west right there. Oh, there it is. Hey, I see it too. What is it? We don't know, sir.
There were an awful lot of local people who came forward at the time and have been coming forward ever since, even very recently, who saw something in the sky that night. A bright, silent, triangular craft seems to be the best description of that. Do you think that had something to do with what landed or crashed in the forest?
Yes, because at the time, I mean, when we interviewed people, there was lots of local people come forward, which people forget about the local people. They're all about the Americans, but more and more local people are coming forward, but a lot of them did see lights, big white lights, big orange lights, but a lot of them did see triangular craft. And what the Americans said they saw in the forest was a triangular craft.
So do you think something crashed?
No, I don't think anything crashed. No, I think it came down. I think it was going to land somewhere else, and that actually did come down in the forest.
Do you think this was something from another world?
I think it came from, maybe can I say another dimension. I don't really believe they come from another world, not other planets as right up there. I do believe they come from dimensions because it's easier for them to come through.
Let's throw some of the theories at you. Orford Ness Lighthouse.
Definitely not.
A crashed satellite.
It could be.
A stealth plane that was being tested
Definitely
and
not.
crashed? No?
No.
An Apollo capsule that was based on the airbase here that a few people decided to fly around with just after Christmas for a bit of fun, smashed the runway lights at the end of Woodbridge Air Base and crashed in the forest. They ran off, next night came back to pick it up, would account for 2 nights worth of incidents?
That's a very good theory, and I know lots of people who've said that theory, and I know Colonel Holt have explained that theory. But no, I don't think so. There have been an awful lot of people in trouble if they'd done that as a joke. But the old couple who lived at Folly House, I mean 11 o'clock that night, they heard a lot of commotion outside, and they looked out their bedroom window and they saw a helicopter with something hanging on chains underneath it, which they described as an upside down ice cream cornet. And they heard people shouting in American and British talking to each other, and they said it wasn't a UFO, and the lady died and the gentleman her husband was taken into care, and on his deathbed he said it was true what we saw. He said we really did see a helicopter with something upside down, and it swung backwards and forwards and it hit the runway light.
This is an area where there is an awful lot of activity. You're here most weekends, aren't you, with other people. You've seen some pretty strange things. You've seen aliens from another world, beings from another dimension. What have you seen in the forest?
Well, we've seen different beings. We've had several different beings that we've seen in the forest. And yes, we do come down here almost every Saturday. And in the summer, Wednesday nights, Saturday nights, sometimes Sunday nights, we do take groups around. We do have several people. We've seen the black cat as one of the things that we see on a regular basis. We've seen the little brown monks which float around. We've seen discs. We've seen the craft in the sky. We've seen Shadow Man, which is a man walking around just like a shadow. We've seen Men in Black, and when I say Men in Black, I do not mean like alien Men in Black. They're standing there, and when you walk up to them, they disappear. We've seen ghosts, and I've got photographs of ghosts in there. You know, we see all kinds of stuff in the forest.
I think something definitely went down in the forest, that's for sure. Something had to have done. What it was, I'm still not convinced. I'm open to the idea of terrestrials, if you like, but whether it was that, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with these guys. I think it was more terrestrial than extraterrestrial.
Do you think we will ever definitively know what happened just after Christmas 30 years ago?
No, I don't, because in Colonel Holt's own words, if it ever came out what happened, governments would topple, there'd be a lot of upset among the governments, and they will never ever be allowed to tell us what really happened.